Yeah. You see, people take life to a different dimension. You understand me? But a Yahweh me seek and a Yahweh me serve, because him are the God of Israel, which are the true living God. You understand me? He's 360 degrees of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So what more they want to know? You understand me? Praise Yahweh, and everything in your life are going to be all right. You understand me, my brother? Trust me, man. Listen, Yahweh, send me an angel today, cast all my sins away, as I kneel and pray. Yahweh, send me an angel today, cast all my sins away, as I kneel and pray. You got to be strong, no matter what goes on. Hold up your head, some time to move on. It's not easy. Life is not easy. No matter what they do, they will laugh and talk with you, then turn around and try to hurt you. It's not easy. Life is not easy. Yahweh, send me an angel today, cast all my sins away, as I kneel and pray. Yahweh, send me an angel today, cast all my sins away, as I kneel kneel and pray, as I kneel and pray. Yahweh, send me an angel today, cast all my sins away, as I kneel and pray. Yahweh, send me an angel today, cast all my sins away, as I kneel and pray. I am not ashamed to praise my Father's name. Putting Major Riley in the Hall of Fame is not easy. Life is not easy. Life is in a mess. We have to do our best to alleviate the stress. The truth we possess is not easy. Life is not easy. Yahweh, send me an angel today, cast all my sins away, as I kneel and pray. Yahweh, send me an angel today, cast all my sins away, as I kneel and pray.
Oh, Father, each day I pray you guide my way. And lead me not into temptation. Please deliver me, Yahweh. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Let me be strong in your word. Let your truth be heard. But you're my strength and my shield. The sound of your voice makes the universe yield. Oh, yeah, yeah. I said, Yahweh's here on his throne to lead his children safely home. Glory. Glory, hallelujah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Wherever you lead me, Father, I will follow. Let my roots grow deep, deep, deep. We're not shallow. Oh, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yahweh is here. Oh, Israel, have no fear. Don't you know that summer is nigh? And he said, on eagle wing we'll fly. Yahweh's here on his throne to lead his children safely home. Glory. Glory, hallelujah. Yahweh's here on his throne to lead his children safely home. Glory. Glory, hallelujah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yahweh's here on his throne to lead his children safely home. Glory. Glory, hallelujah. Yahweh's here to lead
The Nation of Yahweh presents The Unfolding Light. Today's show is brought to you by Builders of the Highway Foundation, Yahweh Life Center, Neo Jazz School of Music, Yahweh Education Centers, and the Temple of Brothers and Sisters of Goodwill. And now for your host, Dr. Lud Yisrael.
Boker Tov and Shabbat Shalom and welcome to the Nation of Yahweh's weekly teleconference, The Unfolding Light. I am your host, Dr. Lud, of course, with my co-host, Sister Tamar Boker Tov, sister.
Boker Tov, Shabbat Shalom, family.
Well, praise Yahweh. It is a great day. It is a great day to know Yahweh. It's a great day to know who Yahweh is in relationship to you, your father, your biological father. We are his children. We belong to him and none other. Today on Unfolding Light, we'll have Who is Yahweh by the Most Honorable, Yahweh Ben Yahweh. Directly after that, we'll have a keynote message from the master teacher, the founder of the Nation of Yahweh, the Most Honorable, Yahweh Ben Yahweh. And directly after that, we'll have the part where we all take part in unfolding the light, and we call it Power Talk. And now for our prayer. If we will all stand and face the east with outstretched hands, O Yahweh, God of our salvation, save us, gather us together, and deliver us from this heathen, so that we may give thanks to thy holy name and glory in thy praises. Blessed be the holy name of Yahweh and Yisrael forever. O Yahweh, let them be confounded that persecute us, but let not us be confounded. Let our enemies be dismayed, but let not us be dismayed. Bring upon our enemies the day of evil, and destroy them with double destruction. O Yahweh, forgive our fathers for breaking your laws, and please forgive us for breaking your laws. Help us to never bring shame upon thy great name, nor reproach against thy works. For surely we have turned ourselves to thee, O Yahweh, trying to be upright. And as we confess our faults, please grant us protection against all of our faults. Cleanse us of our secret faults, and guide us to the best of morals. For surely our prayers and our sacrifices, our lives and our deaths, are all for thee, O Yahweh. Tefillah. Avenu Shabbat Shemayim, Yikadesh Shemeaka, Tavo Malkuterka, Yadze Rezonka, Kim Bashemayim Kain Ba'aretz, Et Lekum Kukenu, Tain Lanu Hayom, Uslat Lanu, All Kartienu, Kimosa Sol King, Gamanatnu, Lakotiam Lanu, Veal Tevienu, Lade Nisayom, King Kal Senu, Min Hara, Kilaka, Hamamlaha, Veha Givera, Veha Tefieret, Leolame, Olamin Sila. We thank thee, O Yahweh, O living and eternal King, who has so mercifully restored our souls within us. So let everything that has breath praise Yahweh.
Remember that this is the morning of the third day, and I shall rise again. I am the resurrection. All of prophecy tells you that I shall rise again. It's all about that. Luke chapter 2, verse 34. No doubt about it. Again, I love you forever, bless you forever. I remind you once again, my associates are children of the light. That just brings laughter to my heart, to my soul, to realize that at last, I have those of you that love peace. And I only want to be in the presence of those of you that love peace. I love you forever. Shalom Aleichem.
Praise Yahweh. So who is Yahweh? Yahweh is a name that you should know because it's the duty of the Son of God to proclaim his Father's name. And here you have a whole bunch of people going to church, 400,000 churches, and they don't know the name of the Father. They say such silly things like, Father, God, help me. Both of them titles. Father is a title, God is a title. Who's going to answer to that? The purpose of the coming of the Son is to reveal the name of the Father. That's who he prayed to, our Father, and he called his name. He said, hallowed be, holy be thy name. How can it be holy to you and you don't know it? Interesting, isn't it? There are a lot more interesting questions than that about that situation. But when you begin to read your Bible, as I call this to your attention, you will discover from the Old Testament of Genesis all the way through Revelations, it's all about the name of the Father. It's all about his name. But somebody got you calling some other kind of name other than the Father's name. And you don't know his name. And unless you learn his name, then you're never going to move from poverty to riches. And if you don't come into the knowledge of his name. Haven't you ever wondered why it is that you have the same God, have the same churches, the same names that white people have? I mean, if you notice, you do. Our people have the same, right? Isn't it strange how God always answers white people's prayers? And black folk prayers don't seem to be the same magnitude. You know, you say, well, I get my prayers answered, but why don't you ever get answered to be the ruler? I mean, you know, my people are always on their knees in front of white people asking white people to let them be accepted. Why do you need to ask white people for acceptance? Why don't you just ask God? Doesn't your God have enough power to make you accepted? Why can't you be the people that everybody else wants to be among? Why are you always running after somebody else to be among them? What's wrong with your God? Why do you have to go around always on your knees with your hat in your hand begging for a job from white people? Why don't your God just give you some jobs? Oh, I have to ask you some serious questions because white people move from poverty to riches every day. Huh? They come from Russia. They come from Europe. They come from England. They come from all over the world with nothing on the ship. Come and get in your neighborhood. Come with a buggy and a basket and a wagon and push it around in your neighborhood and move from poverty to riches out of your pocket. You live in the neighborhood and stay poor and just pray all the time. You prayed enough to rule all the world. So who is Yahweh? Yahweh is the God of the Bible. He's the God of the Hebrews. In the beginning, Yahweh created the heavens and the earth. Yahweh is the man that beat up on Pharaoh. Y'all remember how he put plagues in Egypt? That was Yahweh did that. Yahweh is the one that when Pharaoh got real sassy, he drowned him in the Red Sea. That's Yahweh who did it. Yahweh is the man that when Daniel refused to bow down to another nation and quit facing the east and praying, when he refused to stop praying to his God, which was Yahweh, they said, well, we're going to put you in the lion's den and starve them. Threw him in the lion's den. Yahweh locked the jaws of the lion. Lions could do him no harm. Rulers got scared. Came and got Daniel out and made him a ruler. Right? I just want you to know who Yahweh is. He made the sun, the moon, the stars, all what you see and haven't seen. Okay. So who is Yahweh ben Yahweh? I am his son. I am his son. That's who I am. I am the son of Yahweh. I don't care who else is the son or who else is. It makes me no difference. I'm not here tonight concerning myself with who is the son of who. I'm the son of Yahweh. I have to tell you who I am. Yahweh is my father. I am his son. What makes me his son? What makes me Yahweh's son is I do not have a will outside of his. I have no thoughts, no ideas, and no program outside of Yahweh. You'll find that all that I ever do, all that I've ever done, and all that I'm ever going to do is found right in the Bible and is traced right to his will. No exception. I take no credit for all that I have built. It's all in his name. Yuhei-Wafe. That's one of the things that make me his son. Also, I have no difference in his word. I only speak his words. Even the words I've spoken to you thus far, the principles of those words are all in the Bible. Every single one of them is found in the Bible. No exception. So I walk as he says walk. I talk as he says talk. I act as he says act. I do whatever he says do. I have no idea of doing it any other way. Those are the things that makes me his son. I obey his laws, his statutes, his judgments, his commandments. That's why I'm successful. He said in his holy word that if I obey his laws, statutes, judgments, and commandments, that he would make everything, all the works of my hand would prosper. So all the works of my hands, it's prospering. I'm telling you why. Now, what about you? You might say, well, if you're the son of Yahweh, can I be? Of course you can. Of course you can be the sons of Yahweh. Every one of you can be. Every one of you can be the daughters of Yahweh. All you have to do is like I do. Obey his will, just like I do. You automatically become. You believe on his name, then you have eternal life. There's no other name under heaven that you can be saved in other than God who created it. You can't be saved in no name but the name of the one who created everything. And he gave his son a name higher than all the angels in heaven. What's the name higher than all the names that the angels could possibly have? The Father's name. There can be no name higher than the Creator's. So the son has to come in his father's name. Just like if your name is Davis, then your father was named Davis. Your name is Smith, your father's name was Smith. My name is Yahweh, so my father's name is Yahweh. That's logical.
Know and rest your mind assured. Our eyes have seen his works before. And until my last days, 'tis Yahweh I will praise. Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. I certainly like to thank the most honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh for coming to us and teaching us who is Yahweh as no one else ever could do. Praise Yahweh. Also, I want to thank the most honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh for teaching us our true history, which used to be the world's best kept secret. Praise Yahweh. And now, a brief bio on the master teacher, the founder of the nation of Yahweh, the most honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh. Yahweh Ben Yahweh came to Miami, Florida alone in 1979 to become the spiritual leader and founder of the nation of Yahweh. Although he took a vow of poverty that same year, within 7 years, he guided the nation and those who followed his teachings and principles to amass an economic empire in the greater Miami area and throughout the United States worth over $250 million. Under his direction, the nation of Yahweh has grown to encompass disciples, followers, believers, and supporters in thousands of cities across the United States of America, and indeed throughout the four corners of the earth. The University of Yahweh, for which he has established the curriculum, and for which he has received great acclaim in educational excellence, currently has locations across the United States. The moral teachings of Yahweh Ben Yahweh is bringing about a change in the lives of individuals and causing them to take a different approach to life. This approach is based on the scripture which reads, "It is more blessed to give than to receive." Yahweh Ben Yahweh continues to give. That which he is given cannot be measured in monetary wealth. Yahweh Ben Yahweh is giving the world the keys to success in life politically, educationally, economically, socially, and spiritually. And now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the Grand Master of the Celestial Lodge, the architect of the universe, the blessed and only potentate, the founder of the nation of Yahweh. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh.
I'm building my kingdom with you who voluntarily receive me. Behold, I stand at your door and I knock. Some of you are sitting back in there, got your door all locked up, hollering out, who is it? I don't mind telling you, Yahweh ben Yahweh. And I'm calling out and saying, there's a terrible storm. It's a big storm headed your way. And it's called the fall of Satan. And this is the time of Jacob's trouble. I'm the great light. So it's your duty when you find the greater light, you should come and walk therein. You don't have to put on white to walk in my light. You can stay dressed just like you are. In fact, I prefer it. I just tell you, get your white ready, put it in the closet. The day will come, you'll grab it. Yeah, to live, you just grab it, boy. You say, yeah, I'm putting on my white. I don't want to die. But if you don't have white, how you gonna put it on? You better get you a robe made and put it in the closet in secret. Hide it way back. Box it up where nobody will know you got it. Fine, wonderful. But you better have yourself one. I don't want those little white dresses. I don't want those little dresses up to your knees. I want that dress down. Take my yoke upon you. Do what? Learn of me. I'm encouraging you to learn of me. For I'm meek. But you don't know I'm meek unless you learn of me. And I'm lowly in heart. But then you don't know that unless you study these words and then come and learn of me and see, do I fit this or not? And if you do this, you shall find rest unto your soul. For really, my yoke is easy. It's not hard. It's really easy. And my burden is light. I'm the true light. This doesn't have anything to do with 50 pounds. My burden is light. That's why I invite you to come to the light, the true light. Some of you may have seen some light, but see, you need the true light. Praise Yahweh. And when you come and learn of me, you discover all of that. That's how you be ethical. Now, how many of you agree that you can really see tonight? I mean, your mind is absolutely clear that we are taught to sin. That this whole society, TV, public schools, colleges, the whole fabric of society is designed to teach us to be carnal-minded, to sin, to be against God. That's why the Son has to invite you to come to him. And notice, the public school systems demand your children. They threaten you with jail if you don't give them your children. They are yours. They will send a police officer out, and they call him truant officer, whatever, and threaten you with jail if you don't turn your children over to them to teach your child against your God and against you. You tell me you're free? How can you say that you are free if you're not free to teach your children to love God? You don't control the textbooks. Why don't you write textbooks and put God in it and teach your children morality Why don't you just write textbooks and just put morality in it, and ethics, and virtue, chastity, justice, good behavior, honorable teachers? Why don't you do that? You will suddenly discover you have an opponent, strong opponents against you teaching your children to be good. But being ignorant yourself as a parent, you innocently turn your little innocent babies over to the enemy of God. Not just your enemy, the enemy of God himself. To turn your little children into devils. Anybody want to challenge me? Say I'm wrong? I know I'm right and you do too. Can you begin to see the fight now? You don't have a chance. Your children and your grandchildren and our future is lost to death and destruction forever unless we turn to God, Yahweh himself. Unless you come to me and learn of me and let me teach you Yahweh's law, you are destroyed. There is no hope for you or your future children, because they're taught to hate God, and they can't find God when they're taught to hate him. You can't find God through hatred. Why isn't this building full tonight? Nightclubs are full. Why isn't this building full tonight? Those who call themselves comedians, their houses are full. Why isn't this building full tonight? I'm teaching good. How many admit I'm teaching good? Anybody admit I'm teaching good? Then why isn't this building full to hear and learn good? Why? I think you know tonight. You may not have known before tonight, but I believe you know tonight. Why is the building not full tonight? Because the world has been taught against God to hate good, hate God. They don't want to hear it. What a blessing to serve the true and the living God. Praise God. What a blessing for our God to become flesh, that we may behold Yahweh's glory. Praise Yahweh. What a blessing to know that the one the whole world is looking for is here among us today. Before anyone can say that the one is not here, you have to understand what the one is to do when he comes. You must have a knowledge of what he is to do. And you must know why he's coming. What his purpose is. And then when the one comes, all you have to do is check his works against what is written. And then you will know whether it is he or not by his works. You must come to know both that which is written about the one coming and come to know the one that comes. The only way you can be sure. Glory to Yahweh. Both require knowledge, personal knowledge. Anyone could say he's the one, but the book describes the one. So all of you that are burdened down and heavily laden, come unto me, and I'll give you a rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me. My yoke is easy, my burden is light. And that's not in terms of volume of weight. My burden is truly L-I-G-H-T. Psalms 100.
Make a joyful noise unto the Lord Yahweh, all ye lands. Serve the Lord Yahweh with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. Know ye that the Lord Yahweh, he is God. It is he that hath made us, and not we ourselves. We are his people, and the sheep of his pasture. Enter into his gates with thanksgiving, and into his courts with praise. Be thankful unto him, and bless his name. For the Lord Yahweh is good. His mercy is everlasting, and his truth endureth to all generations. Praise Yahweh. Praise Yahweh ben Yahweh.
Psalms 47.
Oh, clap your hands, all ye people. Shout unto Yahweh with a voice of triumph. For the Lord Yahweh, Most High, is terrible. He is a great king over all the earth. He shall subdue the people under us, and the nations under our feet. He shall choose our inheritance for us, the excellency of Jacob, whom he loved. Selah. Yahweh is gone up with a shout, the Lord Yahweh with the sound of a trumpet. Sing praises to Yahweh. Sing praises. Sing praises unto our King. Sing praises. For Yahweh is the King of all the earth. Sing ye praises with understanding. Yahweh reigneth over the heathen. Yahweh sitteth upon the throne of his holiness. The princes of the people are gathered together, even the people of the God of Abraham. For the shields of the earth belong unto Yahweh. He is greatly exalted. Praise Yahweh. Praise Yahweh ben Yahweh.
I am born from among you to make every single one of those words true. Some of you are blessed to see clearly that Yahweh is fulfilling Isaiah 27:12, truly gathering us together. Psalms 23.
The Lord Yahweh is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord Yahweh forever. Praise Yahweh. Praise Yahweh ben Yahweh.
Welcome to International Headquarters for the nation of Yahweh, the nation of Israel, the tribe of Judah, the children of God Yahweh, children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Welcome where you learn who you are, who your God is, the truth which will make you free, Here you will learn your nationality, which connects you to your land, your history, your language, your culture, your name. Here you learn that you are the chosen people of the Creator, whose name is Yahweh. You are the chosen people called Israel. Your nationality is Hebrew Israelite. You're not a nigger. You're not colored, Negroes, blacks. You're not Afro-Americans. You're Hebrew Israelites. I'm the only one to teach you who you are. I don't bring you religion, I bring you the law. And I'm successful at what I bring. It's based on reality. Some have thought that people who call themselves Jews are the chosen people. Let's turn to Revelations 2:9. And find a truth that was written just for you. Written just for you. Revelation chapter 2, verse 9. Read.
I know thy works, and tribulation, and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews, and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan.
Praise Yahweh. Word is plain. Revelation 3:9. Read.
Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews, and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee.
Isaiah 49:23. Since we have discovered that those who said they are Jews are not, are liars, that means the land in the Middle East called the state of Israel is false. And since the world has not declared who the true owners are, then wars must be fought until the true owners of Israel return. There can be no peace on the earth until the true owners of Israel, who are the chosen people of the Creator himself, return to their God, the knowledge of their history, culture, language, name, and land. Until you return to that knowledge, there will be no peace on the planet. In fact, the war of Armageddon, the war which is to take place in the valley of Jehoshaphat, is imminent. And all the nations are being sucked into the Persian Gulf, all fulfilling the book to the letter. All because Yahweh loves you. Those who would keep you from the knowledge of your history and culture, language, name, and land, and keep you out of your rightful place in civilization, successfully hid from us the name of our Father, who created the heavens and the earth. They put it in secret, which made his name the world's best kept secret. And when you keep the name of the true God hidden, then you can successfully keep his people whom he chose a secret. Both is a secret, the world's best kept secret. And they knew that one day one would come from among those who are dead to the knowledge of their God, history, culture, language, name, and land, and resurrect the dead, so-called blacks of America, who would be able to connect the dry bones in the valley, bone to its proper bone, and lay the sinew upon that skeleton that would be reconnected, and then lay the flesh upon those sinews, and then be able to breathe the breath of life into you and cause you to stand up an exceedingly great army. I'm the one to get it done, and I'm on my job. Hallelujah, Yahweh. All because Yahweh loves you. Now let's look at Isaiah 49:23. Read.
And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers. They shall bow down to thee with their face toward the earth, and lick up the dust of thy feet. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh ben Yahweh, for they shall not be ashamed that wait for me.
You have had to wait while all religions were brought to you, so you could have experience with them. You had to wait until every political game played on the planet Earth was played on you. You had to wait until every educational trick could be laid down and practiced on you. You had to wait in physical servitude for 310 years and then turn around and wait another 100 years in mental slavery, the worst slavery of all, having the knowledge of your God taken from you, the knowledge of your history, culture, language, name, and land taken totally away from you and cause you to act like everybody else on the earth but yourself. And after everybody has had their shot at deceiving you, and when you would be in your worst state, when nobody wants you in their company without the knowledge of Yahweh. Nobody wants you, our people, in their company. And then our people would be deceived into a skin color game and think that because their color was black, that's why they're discriminated against. And yet there are people darker than us called Cubans ruling the city. People come to Miami and set up little Haiti, and they all darker than us. So it can't be skin color. People of all colors come and rise to the top in America. We've been here 433 years, sitting on the bottom. It's not color. It's your lack of knowledge of your God, your history, your culture, your language, your name, your land. Why do all the nations reject you and despise you? It's because they all know you are the children of the Most High God, Yahweh. You are chosen to rule forever, and they all know you broke Yahweh's law, and that's why he put you in slavery under another people, so he could punish you until his son comes to redeem you, reform you, regenerate you, gather you, resurrect you. And I knew who I was coming to, a blind people, a deaf, a dumb, a ignorant people, a mentally and spiritually dead people, a hard-headed people, a stiff-necked, rebellious people who rebelled against Yahweh himself. So I knew you would rebel against me, but I came anyway. All about you coming to know that I am the Lord Yahweh. You that have waited on me, you can already see you are not ashamed. Yahweh is raising you from the bottom to the top. While America is going down, we're going up. In the middle of hell, we're enjoying heaven. Where there's bad, creating good. Where there's wrong, turning the world right. Not our imagination, reality. Praise Yahweh. Those who look down upon us yesterday have to look up today. Because it's promised right here that they have to bow down to you. I'm here to make everybody bow down to you. See, I tell them up front what I'm going to do. Then I proceed to do just that. That's what I love about Yahweh. See, my Father is incredible. He's the only one that tells people up front, I'm going to do this to you. Hoping you can do all you can to try to stop me, and you can't stop me. You're going to have to bow down to the so-called black man that's redeemed into the knowledge of Yahweh and who returns to Yahweh and accepts the fact that you're the children of Israel, the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You are the chosen ones, the true Israel, chosen to rule the world forever. And when you return to that knowledge and accept it and accept me as the son of Yahweh, I raise you to the top, and there's nothing anybody can do about it.
Lo and rest your mind ashore. Our eyes have seen his works before. And until my last days, 'tis Yahweh I will praise. Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. Wow, what a message. There's so much in this message. It's going to be hard to figure out where to start. But Yahweh told us that we are to write books, write our own curriculum, teach our own children. He told us to do that. He told us so many things that over the years we may have missed, we may have forgotten, we may have got, caught up in the cares of the world. Well, it's time for us to return to the word of Yahweh. Ben Yahweh, in the flesh, gave us this word to govern our lives by. Let's not get caught up in pettiness. Let's hear him this time. See, a lot of people didn't hear him. A lot of us didn't hear him in 1990, in 1985, in 1995, 2000. But the word is standing strong this day. All we have to do is listen, hear, perceive this word, and he'll resurrect us. We have a lot to talk about, a whole lot to talk about in Power Talk. But before we get to Power Talk, we know we have to word from our sponsors. Praise Yahweh. Greetings, family. Sorry I haven't posted in a while. I've been very busy self-publishing my new book entitled Ethics: How to Achieve Heaven on Earth. It has truly been a labor of love. I have researched and compiled wisdom over the last 32 years for this book, and now I present it to you. This book will truly enhance your life and change your perspective on the world today.
Praise unto Yahweh, and Yahweh be Yahweh. From the nation of Yahweh,
YahwehRadio.com. YahwehRadio.com.
step
YahwehRadio.com.
Let nobody turn me away from Yahweh.
YahwehRadio.com.
Yahweh and Yahweh is a great God and a great King above
YahwehRadio.com.
You ain't worthy. It's truly God. Yeah.
Rescuing our future since 2004. From beginner to advanced. From melodies to mastery. From practice to performance. Neo Jazz School of Music, creating space for young people to express and to grow. Now with 2 locations, New Orleans and Miami. Enroll today at neojazz.org.
Yahweh Virtual University is now providing free weekly Saturday classes for students of all ages. Yes, you've heard that right. Our free Saturday Bible Fun classes allow students to create fun projects while learning Yahweh mathematics, reading, writing, and of course, amazing Bible stories. Click the link in the description below to see the correct age group and time students should join our free Bible Fun classes. We look forward to seeing you each Saturday. Praise Yahweh forever.
What do all these people have in common besides a beautiful smile, healthy teeth, and gums? They all use Zodi toothpaste. Zodi toothpaste is made with all natural ingredients. Zodi toothpaste is fortified with moringa and baking soda. Zodi toothpaste is suds-free, making it an excellent choice for kids. All natural, fortified, and suds-free. Get yours today at noystore.com.
Praise Yahweh. As we see, there's a lot going on in the nation of Yahweh, and there's a lot more that's been represented here right now. And with the new formatting of Yahweh Radio, we will be seeing what's going on in multiple different places, because we really truly inviting everybody doing good works in the name of our Father, Yahweh ben Yahweh, to share those good works with everybody. We all should support all good works. Let's not be niggas. Niggas are negative. One of the main characteristics of nigga is to be negative, to find something negative, to find something wrong with what somebody is doing and focus on the negative as opposed to focus on the positive. We can't be niggas. Yahweh ben Yahweh resurrected us from that state, that necrosis. Nigga is the necrosis, brain dead. He gave us our knowledge back. He gave us who we are. He gave us our culture, our language. He even told us where our land is, even today. He told us that. But most importantly, he told us that we are the children of Yahweh, and that Yahweh told us to take control of ourselves, our families, write books, write curriculum, take care of the education of our own selves, our children, and our children's children and leave this negativity behind us because we were cursed by Yahweh for turning our backs on the laws, statutes, judgments, and commandments. And he took away, the enemy took away all of what made us a person, a human being, reduced us to animal, reduced us to wanting to be what everybody else we see except ourselves. So now Yahweh came in the flesh as the Son, Yahweh ben Yahweh, and resurrected us, taught us that we're not slaves, that we're not negative people, we're not niggers. You are not a nigger. You are not. You are of the royal house of Judah. You are of the family, the children of Yahweh, royalty. He told us that, and he gave us our inheritance. Our inheritance is this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that we have to do our own thing. We can't do others.
Well, it's so much in
It's
this
so much.
in this message, and I'm always so much appreciation, so much gratitude for the love that Yahweh gave us through giving us Yahweh ben Yahweh, for bringing us light. He brought us light. In today's conversation, he actually, not happenstance that we're talking on the unfolding light, but Yahweh ben Yahweh came bearing light. In Matthew chapter 11, verses 28 through 30, which reads, "Come unto me, all ye that labor." He talking to us. We work force.
Labor.
We the global workforce. "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me. Whew. For I am meek and lowly in heart. Ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light."
L-I-G-H-T.
He wasn't talking about, weights and measures.
He said it.
He said it. I'm not saying anything that
No.
he didn't say weights and measures. He said light. So let us illuminate just a moment on what we're speaking of here, because what we're dealing with is a global sense of misinformation.
Absolutely.
What has happened to us as a people, what has happened to the entire world, and Yahweh ben Yahweh so eloquently weaves it, he masterfully weaves this clarity and understanding all his words.
Right.
And that's the means and the model that we have to operate in. Well, we have to be masterful at understanding and receiving the light. But I want to just illuminate on the word light from the context of understanding. We get into things, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, it's just that, some of us may not have heard Yahweh ben Yahweh teach us and tell us that he don't have time to break down and define all of these words for us, but he gave us a direct order. He gave us a direct mission to write books to expand on the information that he gave. So that's our mandate. That's exactly what we are here to do. We are here to unfold the light that Yahweh gave us because it's so layered. Listen to that message today. It is so layered that to those walking in darkness, it's hard for them to perceive anything of this message. And Yahweh ben Yahweh told us it is our duty to unfold that light for them so that they can understand it and come to that great light. Yahweh ben Yahweh is the great light.
And light, according to just dictionary.com, a basic definition, something as a noun, something that makes things visible.
Woo! Whoa. You mean to tell me light is magic?
It's something that makes things visible.
That's
or afford illumination.
Wow. Okay, we got to ponder that for a second, but go ahead. That's deep. That's what light is. So he can make things, Yahweh ben Yahweh have the power to make things visible to us. to make us able to see and perceive things the way they are. Just like he talked about those people who call themselves Jews. He said these scriptures are written just for us so that we'll know that those are lying dogs and blaspheming, and they occupied a land that was given to our patriarchal father Abraham years ago. I mean, thousands of years ago, but they claiming to be us, but they're not, but they do lie. And he clarified, he shined light on that with two scriptures that say plainly, Revelation 2:9, Revelation 3:9 says plainly that the people running around the planet today, calling themselves Jews, are not, but are a synagogue of Satan. We see that in the recent things that's been going on in the news. If you hadn't heard about it, the tunnels and stuff that they digging up under the synagogues with things in there that can only be used for wickedness.
It's all
wicked
coming.
rituals.
It's all coming to light.
Yahweh ben Yahweh said it.
If you look at the etymological background
Shining the light on it.
of the word light, in the noun format, it's brightness, radiant energy, that which makes things visible. So inherent in this definition, there are some things
it's causing you to see.
However, on the opposite side, there are some things that we don't see. There are some things behind that we didn't see.
Exactly.
And so we need this light for the unseen to be seen.
And see, that's the resurrection of the children of Yahweh. In the resurrection, he gives us the ability to see. Now, we can choose to turn a blind eye to the things that we see. People do it all the time. You know, we've done it in our lifetime. We've turned a blind eye to things that we see in relationship. We know something is wrong, but we turn a blind eye. We choose to turn a blind eye to it. Well, in our resurrection, we can't choose to turn a blind eye to anything. We have to do what we're commanded to do. Every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the most honorable, Yahweh ben Yahweh, is a order to me. And so when he say write books, I have to do that. While I'm in this flesh, I have to do that. When he say publish the name, while I'm in this flesh, I have to do that. We can all pick apart the negativity of individuals. We all on our orbit around the sun, and we all working towards perfection. None of us are perfect. So we all have faults. And for those faults that we have, my personal faults, you know, I confess to Yahweh. I atone. I don't ever miss a day of atonement because I know I need that salvation from Yahweh. Cure me of all the negativity, niggerish,
all those
stuff that I
isms
had
and schisms that we
grew up holding near and dear and calling our culture. Some people still call these negative things part of their culture. It's not part of your culture. You are not a nigger. So let's make sure that we don't dwell on the negativity of anything. Let's all come together in harmony, in peace and love with the positivity that Yahweh ben Yahweh came and brought us in this message. It's all about positive. He illuminates the world to see, for us to see all the wicked things of the world. We can see them. We don't have to talk about them. He told us we don't even have to fight against them. We have to fight against the wicked things in our minds.
Well, you know, the one thing that I hold true is that Yahweh's laws are the truth. And the reality of it is there are things like the law of attraction. That's a law of Yahweh, whether you believe it or not.
As a man thinketh,
so is he.
If you think negative, you'll be negative.
And with that regard, if it's negative, it's going to attract negative. If you're positive, positive is going to attract positive. So regardless of you know, whether a person possesses a certain spiritual energy or not, where you reside is your responsibility.
Exactly.
If you reside in the spirit of the positive and the light, then you're going to be drawn to the light of Yahweh. If you reside in a space of spiritual darkness, you're going to be drawn to darkness. And that is the truth. So it is actually now that time, Power Talk, where we can invite our family to come in and elucidate on this truth.
Well, like I say, Yahweh ben Yahweh is so layered. And as we welcome our family into this conversation, you know, just want to I just want to point out the fact that he spoke of the zeitgeist, what is actually happening today with the War of Armageddon and gathering all of these nations in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, which we know he already taught us is the Middle East. And we look at that so-called country, Israel's at war with people who don't have militaries, and they got billions of dollars a year, over 75 years worth of weapons and a nuclear bomb, and these people got rocks, but it's a war, you know. And then you got all these other countries and all these other things that the imperialistic United States like to do, is capitalizing on, you know, Obama said it. He said, you never let a crisis go by without capitalizing on it. That's what the devil does. And so now he's over there doing airstrikes in Yemen and different things like that. Why is these things happening? You know, well, the propaganda, which most people think is the news, which had never been about the truth. You understand that I talked this 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. I was screaming, don't believe the news. The news is propaganda. They lie, and they owned by the corporations. But we see that today, how they don't speak about what's going on in the Congo right now. You don't hear about the atrocities that's going on there. You don't even hear about what's going on in Haiti. But you hear about what's going on in Israel. You hear about what's going on in Ukraine, you know? And so all of these things are just letting you know that you can't trust the propaganda machine, but Yahweh ben Yahweh spoke of it. Today, he said about the war. He talked about them specifically today in this message. If you didn't hear it, listen to the playback. We have a superior technician who has subverted some of the challenges that we were facing through these wicked people who don't want us publishing the name and tried to cut us off, but we're publishing right now.
On all platforms.
On all platforms,
Praise
including
Yahweh.
theirs. Praise Yahweh. And it doesn't matter though. We're preparing for when they plug these holes and don't allow us to spread this good work, because they're wicked. They don't want good things going on over their airwaves. So we developing our own airwaves. That's why it's imperative that each and every one of you subscribe to YahwehRadio.com. Subscribe to Yahweh Radio. That is the heartbeat of our nation. The knowledge and wisdom that is being broadcasted 24 hours a day, globally, all over the world, is where you can access this information without them. They had to turn off the internet to stop the message. And Yahweh ben Yahweh said he did that for us.
And there are ways around that too. So praise Yahweh. We want to invite our family into this conversation. So if you are dialed in on the Zoom with the phone, you can press *6 to unmute yourselves. And if you are on the Zoom app, all you have to do is either raise your hand to be recognized or just come off mute and we'll get you live on the broadcast.
And if you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, the chat is open, and it's always good to see positive feedback, because, you know, anything negative is ignored. I mean, I'm positive, we're positive, so we look for the positive feedback. You know, if there's some constructive criticism, we definitely welcome constructive criticism, because that helps us to do better. You know, we can right now say, hey, all of the wrong that we do, we doing our best to do right. So
Well, you know,
we're not perfect.
and that's the thing, that is the process that all of us are in, right? We are all in a process of perfecting ourselves, and practicing of Yahweh's laws is the application of that perfection. So if you don't practice the law, if you're not working towards achieving these elements of the law, then you're not striving for perfection. So we do this, but we also do this with the understanding that we are in our own rotations. We're actually all we're collective, but everybody has a spin, their own rotation around the sun. And so we encourage folks while you're in your growth, be merciful to one another.
Well, Yahweh Ben Yahweh told us about writing books in this message today. And I wrote a book, and I would love for each and every one of you to read it and see and do a self-study, a self-critique to yourself or to me, as far as did I do what Yahweh Ben Yahweh commands us to do? Did I expand on the information that he gave us? Did I put it in a way to where, we can get more out of it? And I encourage you to buy the book and read the book and talk about it. But we do have a caller.
Yeah, we do have a caller who was trying to get live on the air. You are now welcome to join us. Praise Yahweh.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Power Talk.
Shabbat Shalom, family. Praise Yahweh. This is Sister Yokabed Sarah Israel from Georgia.
Shalom.
And wonderful class. Oh my goodness. Yahweh's tapes are just amazing. I absolutely love listening to my father, and he hit it so deep for us because we have to get our act together and provide for ourselves, for our children, for our businesses, and continue to build our nation. See, we have to understand, as a nation consists of everyone coming together with different talents, pooling our resources, and developing the needs of our nation. Okay? Is anyone out there that can make some shoes for the nation of Yahweh? Is anyone out there that knows how to make yarn for the nation of Yahweh so we can make warm clothes? Is there anyone out there that knows how to make fabric? Not buy fabric, not purchase fabric. I'm talking about make it so we can be a nation. See, these are the things that we need to start looking at so that we don't depend on other people. As Dr. Lou said, we're not perfect, but you know what Yahweh said? We are striving to be perfect because we can be perfect. And once we learn how to focus on the needs of our nation, on the needs of each other, and that's how we build. And we will be one eventually, because the toe is not going to do what the eye does. So we all have our roles. And remember, family, when you turn off the light, darkness is there. But once you turn it on, keep it on, and it'll keep darkness away. Love you, family. Thank you for allowing me to share.
Praise Yahweh. We love you, sis.
I thank Yahweh for giving you the wisdom to share, and that you shared it with us, because you hit on a point that is just so relevant. We are the body of Yahweh Ben Yahweh. You know how the Christians like say, we the body of Christ, but then they don't do nothing. They suffering from necrosis, sitting around in the building, hollering and screaming, but walk out the building and it's status quo into the system. Whereas Yahweh Ben Yahweh shine the light on us to shine the light in our everyday walk, in our every conversation that we have. It's about light. It's about positivity. It's about moving forward. Like our sister said, the toe is not the eye, does not the eye job. The eye does not do the toe job. Talking about something important. Oh, seeing is important, but without the toe for stability, you'll be what? Looking at the ground? You'll be falling everywhere you go? Come on. What seeing has to do when the toe is not stabilizing the body to where it can't stand? Okay, so all of these things of the body of Yahweh in the flesh, the body of Yahweh Ben Yahweh, that's who we are. We have to do our parts. If we're the toe, we got to stabilize, be a strong foundation. If we're the eye, we have to have sight beyond sight. We have to perceive the light that Yahweh is illuminating, and not just, what the scriptures say, the mind is deceitful above all things. Trust not into your own mind. We got to trust in the mind of Yahweh ben Yahweh. He gave us the word, and we have to study that word, and we have to be positive people, because there's a whole lot of words that we may not have heard yet. There's a whole lot of commandments that Yahweh ben Yahweh gave that we have to diligently study, and we may not have perceived those yet. So in criticizing one another is just going backwards. I applaud every individual who is studying the name Yahweh, because they will get to the Son. If they're going to get to Yahweh, they have to go through the door. So eventually, they'll come right at the door, Yahweh ben Yahweh, if they want to truly go in. So I applaud them, all the people who are working to manifest and publish the name of Yahweh ben Yahweh. I applaud you. I don't care what you're doing negative. I don't care what your faults are. I don't care what your insecurities and all of those things that we know we all have. I care that you publishing Yahweh's name, that you're promoting Yahweh, even you just speaking of Yahweh ben Yahweh's name. I thank you for it. Praise Yahweh, praise Yahweh ben Yahweh, who is Yahweh in the flesh, for you doing that. Everybody. Praise Yahweh.
Well, I thank Yahweh for how we are framing today's conversation, because one of the things that we are understanding about what has happened is that there has been a universal message of destruction being passed abroad. And America has been a test ground for that destruction. When we think about what has happened to the so-called Black man here in the hills of North America, this was a practice ground for the global
test ground, right?
Yeah, test ground for the global destruction. Our reality is there is a larger force at play. Is the energy in the war between good and evil. And if we're stuck in a pattern of dealing with small self-destruction and small battles, then we're losing the war. But we know Yahweh's truth will remain. Yahweh ben Yahweh came shedding light that those who are against Yahweh will be destroyed at the end. So our work today and our work every day is aligning, is getting aligned, walking in the path towards Yahweh, not in a path towards evil, not in the path towards war or negative, but walking in the path towards Yahweh, towards Yahweh's light, not away from it. Yahweh said in today's message that you can't find God through hatred.
You can't find God.
And what we're dealing with is a universal force, a global force that is embedding hatred in every element of your world. And we have to be diligent warriors in this battle and seek out the enemy in our own minds and destroy that sucker with all the force and the might in our body.
And that's through righteousness.
That is a real thing. If we let those thoughts ruminate in our minds, they call it ruminating. It's a mental thing that what happens to people. We go to ruminating in these negative thoughts, and they create these forces inside of us, and then they start manifesting in real life.
Well, the scriptures call it pine away, pine away. In other words, you thinking about something so much to where it manifests.
Then these things actually become real for you.
Real for you, right.
And notice I say they become real for you. And so our work, family, is keeping Yahweh's law in our minds, because we don't want to operate with that energy. We got work to do. There's so many forces out there, so we got to educate our children. We're working hard here with our family.
We got to write books, write curriculum. We got to do what the most honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh said. In order to rescue our future, then we have to become the scholars, and we have to represent this information to the third and fourth generation. And we have to consume the world with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that Yahweh ben Yahweh gave us.
And see, we understand what the marching orders were. Yahweh ben Yahweh told us we need to, have babies. And we need to teach those babies about Yahweh. And then we need to make sure that those babies are teaching their babies. Our children's children. And our children's children. So family, we love y'all, but we got work to do.
I know that's right.
We got babies, and we got babies.
7, 8 children coming over here in an hour for martial art class.
And our marching orders are to build Yahweh's nation. So we're going to spread the good news, but do know we have work to do.
We have work to do, and all we're saying is that do the work.
Do the work.
Everybody, let's be known by our works. Let's not be known by our words that we like to talk and, what we say on different platforms and stuff like that. Let's be known by our works, period. Yahweh ben Yahweh said, don't judge me by my words, judge me by my works, because he knew that the carnal-minded people couldn't see the spirituality in the spiritual works, so he had to have some physical works that they could see. And he showed us the physical works. But see, our job, he gave us a mandate to what our job is. If you don't remember it, you don't know it, listen to the royal priesthood. We have a duty to do. And it's even in the scripture about we must show forth the praises of him who has brought us out of darkness into his marvelous light. And we have to be a people and stand up and be that royal priest of Yahweh. Royal priest of Yahweh, minister to the world. Sound like we have a caller. So I go on and on a rant.
Praise Yahweh. This is Sister Yochebed again. Just wanted to, a quick shout out. Just thank everyone for your support on the book of poems that I wrote, Restore Your Soul. And I just thank you for the love, and I thank you for the feedback. Praise Yahweh, family. Love you much.
Praise Yahweh. See, we're doing what we commanded to do. Yahweh gave the commandment.
And we do.
And so we see the manifestation of the commandment in work with our sister and with those of us who have took on the charge to do that. Praise Yahweh.
We do have a caller with their hand raised. Sister, if you can unmute yourself, come live on Power Talk.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Power Talk.
Shabbat Shalom. Dr. Tov, just a question. Could you all put the information for the books into the chat so I could go ahead and make my purchase for the poems and the book on ethics?
Yes, ma'am. Praise Yahweh.
We certainly can. Well, it's like this, family. We are a family. Love, hate, mad, happy, sad, pissed off, whatever it is, we still a family. And we're going to be, if we're children of Yahweh, we're going to be family. Now, when we get to that mountain where the lamb is standing on there, I think our sister Kagi mentioned that we all going to be there, all of us who qualify. And see, to qualify yourself, you must study to show yourself approved. That's the qualification. It ain't like you got to start a media company. That's the toe job.
That's somebody else's job.
The finger job may be to start a clothing manufacturing business. And the elbow job may be to start a shipping company or construction. You see what I'm saying? Praise Yahweh. Your hand still raised? Do you want to come back in?
I think we left that up.
If not, okay, but absolutely. Put it back up. Yes, ma'am. If you can unmute yourself, if you like to speak, the floor.
No, sir. I was gonna say, Toda.
All right. Power Talk is powerful talk with our family. Family, let's indulge in each other's positivity. Let's bask in the glory of our Father's light that he shined today, in the positivity of us all here together. This day we are unified. This day, and just about every morning that has been labeled Saturday. Understand that for all you listening who have issues with that name, that's okay. It's just a label somebody else put on one of the days that Yahweh created. So as we come together in this positivity, let's keep this positivity going throughout the whole week until we get back together next week again. You know, let's keep this positivity going, support one another. You know, if you hadn't bought the book of poems, please buy that book of poetry. That is a beautiful book. You know, if you hadn't bought some of the books that our brother Kezion Menashe wrote, you know, How to Study the Bible, and he even upgraded it to How to Study the Bible 2.0. And we have another brother who has written a book about, you know, the power in your name. And then, of course, above all, the most honor, Yahweh ben Yahweh, our fathers. I know that I'm sure just about everybody under the sound of my voice have bought every single book that our Father has written. And if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong, but I believe we bought everything. So read them and reread them and reread them and reread.
Well, I just want to lift out at noystore.com. There is a feature book that everyone must have in their
Yahweh Judges America.
Yahweh Judges America is now available at noystore.com. So we are highly encouraged by what Yahweh ben Yahweh is putting us in these words, and we think everyone should have these words of encouragement no matter where they are across the globe. And so we put them available on a website called noystore.com. And you can get that and many more.
I bet you don't know what NOY stands for.
Well, I bet you can, but this thing is for us, family, to have our information available to us.
Absolutely.
As we see here and what Yahweh ben Yahweh has told us in today's message and many other messages, that the forces of evil are against us, and their campaign against the truth is a strong campaign. We want Yahweh's light. We want to take Yahweh's burden upon us. We want to remove ourselves from this heavy labor and being heavily laden.
Let's take the positive road. Let's take the high road, the Yahweh road. You know, narrow is the gate that leads to Yahweh. Wide is that gate that leads to destruction. A narrow one is positivity, is keeping the law, statute, judgments, and commandments, seeing past a brother and sister's fault to see a real brother and sister's works. See, because that's what we focus on, the works. If you're doing something, if you're making soap, let us know so we can publicize that. If you're, you know, driving cars and giving rides, and that's a business that you have, even if you contracted with other businesses, let us know so we can promote that, so we can patronize each other. We all have to come up. And it's our duty as children of Yahweh to come together and pool our resources. Our resources is information. Our resources is all of the businesses that's scattered all over this country, unconnected from one another. Let's connect to those businesses. Let's patronize them in any way we can. And let's create a positive wave of sovereignty among the nation of Yahweh. That's what we're here to do. Another thing I like to say, we're getting close to the end. I'm not sure, Sister Tamar, you're going to post those links.
That's what I'm actually working on right now.
One thing is we are revamping Yahweh Radio, and I encourage everybody to subscribe because, you know, when Zoom is gone, when YouTube is gone, when Facebook is gone, when Instagram is gone, when all that stuff is gone because they're ran by wicked corporations, Yahweh Radio will still be the heartbeat of our nation, giving out the information. Where can you hear the king teach every single day? Well, you can hear him on YouTube, but then they banned us from putting more stuff on it. You know, they're trying to clamp down on that. So we got a sister's YouTube channel, Yahweh Radio YouTube channel. Subscribe to it. because if one closed, we open another, you know. But YahwehRadio.com is a way to support the good works of this multimedia company that is published in the name of Yahweh, broadcast in the name of Yahweh. And we have a format to where at 7 a.m. every morning Central Time is the Unfolding Light playback. Then you have some work grooves that are coming to where you can work to. But then at noon, from noon to 2, we have Our True History, the world's best kept secret. If you ever want to stay focused on those foundation scriptures, listen at noon. From 12 to 2, we have Our True History, the world's best kept secret.
Central Time?
Central Time. At 5 o'clock, we have Lifeline. Central Time. At 6 o'clock, we have According to the Bible. And some of you have seen that show on our YouTube channel, Yahweh Radio YouTube channel. You see the podcast. And then you have at 7 o'clock Central, the Master Teacher teaching. And then you have evening jazz, and even overnight, you got primordial vibrations overnight. You have music that you can sleep to and re-energize your spiritual third eye all night from 12 midnight to 6 a.m. So check out YahwehRadio.com. Sister, final thought?
I'm just grateful to the most honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh for bringing and being the bearer of light. The truth shall stand, and I am just honored that Yahweh has put the word truth in my name. And studying your name, family, is really that path towards your journey and understanding your purpose. Brother Jeremiah wrote a book.
Yeah.
Brother Kezion also wrote a book on how to study your name. So there is so much out there. And if we find the goodness in our family and in ourselves, we're able to find that goodness that Yahweh has put out there. So I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged by all those who are serving Yahweh, that are doing the will of our Father Yahweh, and standing for the truth of Yahweh Ben Yahweh. Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. Well, family, it's time that we have to end this episode, of course, but we will be back next week, Yahweh willing, with another episode of Unfolding Light. But I like this to say that, you know, it is really, truly our time. Yahweh Ben Yahweh told us today in this message. And some people may not like my marketing when saying ethics, you know, when I say this book is the solution, but it's not the book. It's the information in the book. And the information in the book is what Yahweh Ben Yahweh taught us about ethics. He taught us today about ethics. Last week, the week before, he taught us about ethics. That's what is the solution to all the world's problems. Ethics, not a piece of paper, not a bunch of paper inside a binder that they call a book. It's the information, it's the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the subject, ethics, that is the answer to all your problems and all the world's problems. That brings us to the end of this episode of The Unfolding Light. Please join us next week for another episode of The Unfolding Light. And now, if everybody will stand and face the east with outstretched hand, as we close out this episode with a prayer, the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Tefillah. Avenu Shabbat Shemayim, Yikadesh Shemeaka, Tavo Makuteraka, Yad Zerizonka, Kim Bashamayim Kain Ba'aretz, Et Lekon Kukenu, Tain Lanu Hayom, Uslat Lanu, All Kartienu, Kimosaso King, Gamanatnu, Lakotiem Lanu, Veal Tevienu, Lade Nisayom, King Kal Senu, Min Hara, Kilaka, Hamamlaha, Veha Givera, Veha Tefieret, Leolame, Olamin Sila. We thank thee, O Yahweh, O living and eternal King, who has so mercifully restored our souls within us. So let everything that has breath praise Yahweh. And always remember, Yahweh loves you, Yahweh Ben Yahweh loves you, and so does the nation of Yahweh. Shabbat Shalom, family.
you for joining the Unfolding Light presented by the Nation of Yahweh. If you have any comments or questions, please email us at info@thenationofyhwh.com. Follow us online at thenationofyahweh.com, theunfoldinglight.com, and at yahwehbenyahweh.biz. Get social with us. Follow the Nation of Yahweh on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Also, do remember to pay Yahweh and yourselves first and don't touch it, as instructed by the Honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh. You can send your tithes, donations, and offerings to the Nation of Yahweh at P.O. Box 555-115, Orlando, Florida 32855. And be blessed continually, according to Malachi chapter 3, verse 10. Praise Yahweh. Shalom, shalom.
Stop your crying. Stop your crying. It's gonna be alright. Stop your lying, children. It's gonna be alright. Stop worrying. That's this wording going on. It's gonna be alright, man. Cause you see, Yahweh Ben Yahweh is here now. Well, he's a man with a wonderful, wonderful life. You'll be praying all night long. Well, cause you see, you don't know if you're gonna get up in the morning now and lose your home. Well, cause you see, I got all these children that is going on, and I don't want them to starve. And that's why you got to go and bow down to somebody who ain't God, a man on your job. Well, yeah. The mighty God is here now. Son, I'm talking about the Son, Yahweh, Ben Yahweh. So you can quit all this foolishness and going on, but we living in a brand new day. Well, stop your moaning. It's gonna be alright. Stop your groaning, children. It's gonna be alright. Stop your crying. You don't have to have no more kids. But you see, Yahweh, when Yahweh came, round about on this time, it's all now years. Well, stop your begging. It's time to do your part. And quit being lazy, my children. That it's time to stop doing what you want to do. Stop doing the things you supposed to do. Get up off of your knees and be so good. Study real hard because he said you know you could. Well, be the way he wants you to be because he said he know you can. He want all the sisters to join together and be woman and all the brothers to be men. And I know that everything is gonna be alright. Well, early in the morning, it's gonna be alright. I wanna tell you that sometimes you get lonely in the evening time. Just call his name and it'll be alright.